critical of, because again, I'm 31 and how the hell do I see this? And you work for them and you have never questioned the history of Dr. Fauci. You have never questioned all of his suggestions over the years. Do you know his track record? Do you know all the things that this man has suggested that have not worked? Not recently. I'm talking about all the way back to the 1980s and 90s when he became one of the individuals who became America's doctor. You need to research the people who you work for and with so that you know that you may be a party to the destruction of your people unwittingly, unknowingly, unintentionally. And too many black folks help to destroy their own people and their culture. Mexicans, Jewish people, white people even help to destroy their own people without even knowing it, because they go along with a damn script that was pre-written by someone who does not have their better interest at hand.
So what is the purpose then? What is the purpose then of them worldwide and putting talking heads up for all of us then?
Absolutely. And I love this argument as well. This is why they don't like to have your brother on. There was an advisor to President Jimmy Carter by the name of Zbigniew Brzezinski. He stated that in earlier times, quote, I
just want to say, if you ever end up on Jeopardy, you win in the whole thing.
Zbigniew Brzezinski particularly said, quote, in earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people than to physically kill 1 million people. But in today's time, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than it is to control, end quote. Global 2000 was authorized under President Jimmy Carter. In Global 2000, which is a government policy, you can go ahead and look this up. It specifies how to use food as a weapon and how to use reproductive services as a weapon. If you go back.
Welcome back to another Star Settle episode of the Chatterbox with King Jacob. And I am your host, King Jacob. And we have another wonderful edition of Motivational Mondays, Mindful Mondays, and Music Mondays. So I hope everybody had a thrill and a blast and a purposeful weekend. You know, it's back to the grind. It's Monday, and we almost got through our first day. And so, you know, God is always good. You know, I just like to thank God for allowing me to come on this platform and share it with some of the greatest talents I ever seen across the globe. And today we have another star-studded talent. And I'm going to let him introduce himself to the world so the audience can get familiar with him. You have the floor, my brother.
Well, hello, man. I appreciate you having me on. My name is Mul-Ty. They call me the Love Doctor. What's going on with you?
What's going on? So, Mul-Ty, before we get into your story, man, who is Mul-Ty, the Love Doctor? What answer would you give people, you know, when the media and the tabloids want to know who you are?
Man, I'm just a country boy from South Georgia doing what I love, man, and doing what was purpose. That's it.
Okay. So let's get into your story, man. So tell me about you from a child and how music has always registered with you, you know, with a soulful impact, and you know, and how did you discover that you had talent?
Well, first I'm a PK. I'm a preacher's kid. I grew up in a musical household. My father, I would definitely say, was my first musical influence. I tell people that I used to hear him and get on his piano, and I would know how he was feeling by the songs he would play. And so I learned at a young age that was an outlet, and I began to learn how to express myself in that way.
Okay. And so when you say expressing yourself, when did you find out that you can hit a note? How early on was that?
Well, I tell you, man, it's funny because initially I wasn't the singer of the family. My sister, Michelle, she had a gospel group called Michelle and the Gospel Five. And my younger sister, Maria, sang in the group. My elder sister, Melissa, managed the group. And Michelle was the quote unquote main singer of the family. My father would sit me on the piano and say, "Play for your sisters," you know, and I had so much admiration for her and my father as singers that she caught me singing one day in the living room. I playing the piano, and when she confirmed for me that, boy, you can sing, I began to believe it, you know. And so, you know, because I was shy, man. I didn't want to sing in front of people. I didn't want to. At a young age, I was very shy. But, my sister's confirmation, I believed it.
Okay. And so, what age was you around when she gave you that confirmation?
Man, I remember I was playing the piano them days and my feet couldn't reach the pedals. I don't know how old I was, but
Oh wow.
I just I just remember this was an age when my daddy would have to put me on the bench to play.
Okay. So you was very, 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 very young, and so upon finding that you had a gift, and your sister confirmed that you can really sing. Um, when was it that you let the public know that you can sing?
Well, I'll tell you what happened, man. I have a lot of family members that's very talented, uncles, aunties, and we would have family gatherings. And I remember always hearing these great songs and feeling, and it made me feel some type of way because I was saddened by the fact that nobody would ever hear these songs outside of these surroundings. And I just remember praying one day, asking God like to take my song beyond my city limits. And I tell you, when I say He has given me so much more than that, anything God do for me beyond this point is extra. He's given me more than I ever even asked for.
Okay. And so upon you find that you can sing, man, and when other people find out, man, and when when did it get like real for you? When people will actually come up to you and ask you, to sing, or when people start inviting you to open mics or talent shows or something, things of that nature.
I'm gonna tell you the moment that it got real for me, man. I was younger, and a friend of mine, we called him Big Yo, Marquise. He was a lot older than me, and he said, well, a little bit older than me. And he said, man, if you get serious, because I was a little troubled child going to jail and stuff when I was younger. And he said, man, if you focus on this, I'm gonna go buy a piece of music equipment. And he told me to go pick out what I needed to make records. And I went and found this digital recorder. He purchased it. And we began to make cassette tapes. This was back in those days. Don't tell him my age, but we began to make cassette tapes. And I remember the exact moment that I decided to take it serious. I was walking home and I had a pocket full of tapes in my left pocket. I would sell a tape for $5. I would keep $2.50 and give him $2.50. And I had a pocket full of tapes in my left pocket and a pocket full of stuff I shouldn't have had in my right pocket. And I'm selling both of them. And I'm walking home from his house one day, and I got stopped, man. And the guy said, "Man, I want to buy one of them tapes." And I made my first $5. And I walked a little further, and somebody else pulled me over. And this guy was a crackhead. I knew what he wanted. But when I went to his car, he said, "Man, you got one of them tapes I heard in the barbershop?" And when he bought a tape, and by the time I made it home, I didn't have no cassettes left. And I knew at that moment that there was more people on music than drugs. And if I could sell you something to kill you, I definitely could sell you something to heal you. And
Man, well, hold up. Technical file on the play. Time I back that thing up. Say that again,
yeah,
my brother.
yeah, man. That's what I say, man. If I can sell you something to kill you, I definitely can sell you something to heal you. So that day, I didn't stop hustling. I just changed my product.
That's dope. That's dope. Man, we have my girl from Columbia, South Carolina, tapping in, Miss Latasha Reeves. Lady John Ray. She's also a phenomenal singer. Neo soul, R&B soul, Southern soul, gospel, jazz, blues.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna definitely have to link y'all two up. You know what I mean? So
Indeed.
y'all can do something together. But that man said he said if I can sell you something to kill you, I can definitely sell you something to heal you. Boy, look at him, man. That's a whole T-shirt line for
Hey,
real.
man. Story of my life.
Now I can dig it, man. I can dig it, man. And as I love to say, and she loves it too. You know what I mean? Because she said the same thing in the comment section. So that's a blessing, man. That's a blessing. So tell me about when you very first Like, okay, tell me some of the songs that was on that cassette tape.
Oh man, listen, man. They call me the love doctor now because I've always been an honest writer. I always write about what I'm doing in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
and so people know me now more for love songs. And you know, my biggest hit was a wedding song that people get married to all over the world. But in those days, I sung about the stuff I knew about, and
Mm-hmm.
so when you listen to that album, I had songs called Crickets and Avalanches, Dirt Roads. I mean, I was literally talking about what my environment, what I saw, what I done, and not glorifying it, but just painting pictures.
Okay. And so that one particular ballad that was on that cassette tape, which ballad was that, and why do you think it wowed people so much?
Man, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I started doing the love songs on there because that's always been inside of me. To do that, it's always been who I am. A reflection of love, and I like, and that's my wheelhouse. That's my place that I can always pull from. And so I think I have. I think I tell people that I have a very clear vision of what love means, and so I feel the need to talk about it.
Okay. That's what's up. Salute to Miss Latasha Bingham checking in from Raleigh, North Carolina. Salute to you. I appreciate you showing us some love. So it's funny you say that. So I was watching Jennifer Hudson's show, and she had Cedric Entertainer and Tony Braxton on there, and said it was talking about the type of songs that Tony make. They just be sad love songs, but they make you want to go and hug somebody and get it back together.
Indeed.
Yeah, said Tony said it's just another sad love song driving me crazy. I said, good God Almighty. If it's
It's funny
sad,
you mentioned Tony Braxton. When I
uh-huh.
first signed with Universal in 2002, I recorded a song called Spanish Guitar, and I was honored because they called me and said Tony Braxton was loved the song so much that she wanted to write one from a female perspective called Spanish Guitar, and so I cleared it, and that was an honor to have her want to inspired by something I wrote.
Yeah. It's crazy you say that. This happened to me. I used to have a buddy back in the day by the name of King Clip, rap buddy.
Hmm.
So he takes me to meet his mama, and his mama says to me, you know who I am? I said, no, ma'am. She said, I'm the aunt of Tony Braxton and the Braxtons. She said, Evelyn is my sister. And I said, yeah. She said, yeah. She said, we all from South Carolina, but their dad was in the military and they moved to Maryland, and that's where they lived at.
Okay.
And so I've had the chance to, be on the phone with them and stuff like that, just because my homie was their first cousin, and
Okay.
and pretty cool family. And I tell people all the time, man, I'm from that Chitlin circuit. So when people talking about people that come through South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia, everybody come because this is the main hub for the Chitlin circuit. You know,
Hmm.
when we talking about Otis Redding and James Brown and Sam Cooke and Millie Jackson, and the list goes on. You know what I mean?
I've been
And
on a chitlin circuit. Yeah.
yeah, man. So, but yeah, man. And so as you got hot in the streets with the with the cassette tapes, right? What was your first real live big showcase?
Big showcase. Well, the music industry then was a lot different than it is now.
Right.
And so, marketing now is social media. Well, back then, man, we would go city to city performing a record. That song "Looking for Love," my song, I actually received my first gold album in the U.S. and the U.K. last year from a
Mhm.
song that I put out then, and it caught on now. But we put out a song entitled "Looking for Love," and I went state, city to city, man, performing that record, man, in front of people, because I realized what happened was once I figured out the formula I would write down, man, on the back of a CD, requested at your local stations. And I would flood the streets with these albums and perform in the streets. And I realized the radio had to play what was in demand. So I just decided to create a demand and go straight with the people. And by the time them radio program directors got their hand on that record, they was happy to have it because they had so many requests for it every day. So I would literally go city to city, and I was forming relationships with the record store. It was a such thing as record stores back then,
And
and I would do.
actually, I want to cut you off right there. Actually, man, during the COVID season, a lot of people that own record stores. So there's about 700 urban record stores left, and about 2,500 other record stores. And when I say other, that sell like the country and the rock and
Yeah,
the soft rock and the grassroots. So the industry has really manipulated the black community
indeed.
and having them thinking that CDs don't exist no more. But a lot of my white friends still buy vinyl and CDs. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And so there's still a lot of record stores left, and they be looking for artists to put music in their stores, and they be looking for artists to come to their stores and do poster signings and like fan appreciation days and stuff like that, man. So it still exists, man. But they would make you think that ain't nothing getting pressed up, but it's a lot still getting pressed up, especially for the real DJs who still love vinyl. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
Yeah, man. And so
Well,
I
yeah,
just want,
man. That's
I
what we
just want,
done. We just made relationships with those record stores and did consignment and put my record in there, and it just took off from there, man.
ain't that a blessing, bro?
Yeah, man. God is good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I just want to rebound back a little bit too, because I'm a church boy from South Carolina, so I'm a rewind back a little bit, man.
Okay.
Now with hearing your father play them keys, and
Huh?
you can tell, I said with hearing your father play that piano, right,
Uh-huh.
and you can kind of tell what kind of mood he was in by playing that piano, man. I know you heard some of that good quartet music.
Oh man, I tell people, man, whenever you hear a singer get ready to start a song and they start off like this right here, somebody about to sing. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting in front of a piano.
Man, go ahead and give us a little song.
Oh man,
You
kill
said in
that
front of them
music right
keys.
there.
Go ahead, man.
Oh man, all right, 1 second. Let me get my keyboard right here. Can you see my transpose thing for me? Boy, I can't see my pitch button. Is it there? Okay, there we go. Let's see. All right, I wasn't prepared, but say always stay ready. You got to get ready. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
Say, oh Lord, Lord, please let me. I need a little more time to pray. I've been in a storm too long. That was the song I heard my daddy singing.
Right.
Yeah, that was the song.
That good down home,
Come on, man. Come on, man.
quartet music, man.
Soul
That
stirring. Yeah, man.
that music. I tell people that music when we had wood floors in the church, and your feet and your hands was your instruments, and
Oh, man.
Yeah. That right there, man. So yeah, man. So I just had to ask you about that good quartet, man, because when you from the South and you sing from the soul, singing
Come
from
on.
the soul means that you're singing for your salvation. So come on,
Come on.
somebody,
Come on, Doc.
you
What
know,
they say, cooling water.
yes sir, yes sir. So with that being said, man, you had those cassette tapes and you was moving and grooving in the streets and stuff like that, man. And so when did you realize that you was a gifted writer? Because there's a lot of gifted singers, but being a gifted writer is a total different ball game.
Well, honestly, Doc, I always felt like I've never been a singer that writes. I always felt like I was a writer that just happens to sing. Um, I sing most days. I write every day. Um, I can't turn that off. When I lay down to go to sleep, man, song lyrics wake me up. I wrote a song recently called 11:53 because I couldn't think of nothing to sing about, so I looked at my watch and came up with a song called 11:53. So, and right now I'm in this season of embracing being a songwriter first. I've been so far this year worked with several artists, and I haven't performed as much, really focusing on my songwriting. And I've been able to write with people that it blew my mind, man. My favorite writer, one of my favorite writers growing up was a guy, prolific artist named Edwin McCain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and being able to write on his product and do songs with him was amazing to me. I wrote a song for blues great Mel Waiters. I've been able to maneuver throughout the business in different genres. I'm working on some country music placements right now for some
Hold on,
songs.
man. We ain't talking about the Mr. Let's Go Baby to the hole in the wall.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Nah.
He recorded one of my songs called Throwback. And
Mhm.
yeah, man. I did the background vocals and so like I say, man, it's been a while. I mean, of just trying to get to a place where I'm at now, where I can focus more on my songwriting. So now I'm at that place. I'm enjoying the ride, man. It's beautiful. I think that the only difference in a singer and a successful singer is the right record, and I really want to be that bridge for many artists as I can. So I'm enjoying my writing right now, man. I'm in that stage.
Okay. And so a lot of people write from different spaces in their life. You know,
Hmm.
some people write from their mentals, some people write from their emotions, some people write from their spirituals, but some people write from all three. Do you write from all three, or it just depends on what's going on at the time?
Okay. What I like to do normally, like for instance, I wrote a song recently for a Southern Soul artist. She's awesome. Her name is the Melodic Princess, and I just wrote a song for her entitled "Give Me Love." And when she came to me for a record, my thing was 'cause I was also her vocal coach. I teach vocal training, and so what I decided to do was I like to sit down with an artist and peek their heart and see who they are, what moves them, and I feel like when an artist can emotionally connect to a record, that's magic. Sometimes some artists have came to me and said, "Oh yeah, I like that song, give me that." But for the most part, it's been me spending time and getting to understand that artist and connecting the record to them.
Okay. And so do you produce as well?
Yes, yes. I started producing for myself before anybody else. All of my earlier records that you will hear was 100% me producing. I've been blessed now that I've met other producers that I can work with. I might can sit home and once I write a song, I could just come up with the piano keys and send it to them and say, "Hey, put me some drums on this, or put me some guitars on this, or whatever I need from them." And I'm blessed to have a great circle of producers that I work with now. So when I'm writing my records, I know who to call for what because I understand what each of them strong points are. You know what I mean?
Okay, I can dig it, man.
Yeah.
What's up, Clarence? What's up, Big Uncle, man? I'm glad you checking in, man. I definitely appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate it, man. So now different artists can bring out different things in a songwriter, a different level of writing.
Hmm.
So from the gospel to the R&B soul, neo soul, the southern soul, and even from the country, what would you say was the most challenging for you
You mean working with other artists with songs?
as far as writing? Like, is it more challenging to write country, jazz, blues, gospel, southern soul, or
I wouldn't say challenging. I don't, but The toughest situation I ever wrote in was the first time, like I say, I worked with Edwin McCain, being that I was asked before I ever knew him who my favorite three writers was in the world. And I named him as one of those. And so to now be in a situation of him saying, I want a record from you, that's a lot of pressure. It's kind of like, Michael Jordan wanting to help with a jump shot. You're gonna have feel some pressure. And
Right.
I felt like nothing I'd done was good enough to even give him, and we sat down and penned a song called Good Enough. And because in the midst of us hanging, like I said, I like to hang with artists, and I discovered who he was as a person. And when I saw that light that shined through him and his heart and what moved him, we penned the perfect song.
Okay. Big C. Thanks for tapping in, man. We had so much fun in Greenville, South Carolina this weekend, man. I really appreciate y'all hospitality, man. That's everything entertainment. My fam. We definitely appreciate y'all, man, for definitely all your love and your support, man. Thank you so much. So with that being said, man, as your career went on, and as you really start getting out there, and you start performing and stuff like that from in different locations, what has been one of your favorite places for cities to perform in?
Okay, in my home state, my favorite city would be, I'm from Georgia, so my favorite city in GA to perform would definitely be Valdosta, Georgia. Um, let's see. I guess you have to ask me what state, then I can name what city. Like South Carolina, I'm gonna definitely say Charleston.
Okay.
North Carolina, I like Charlotte. I mean, so it would kind of depend on what state.
Okay then. Okay.
Yeah,
So you said Valdosta down there by Valdosta State, correct?
Valdosta, Georgia. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to
Okay.
Valdosta.
Okay. So why more so Valdosta instead of like Atlanta, Augusta, Savannah, Columbus? You know.
Okay. I'm from Vidalia, and I don't even say that. I say Valdosta because they was the first city in my home state to embrace my records, far as radio, far as everything. It was funny because my state was the last state to really, and it's funny how people always talk about home is the last to receive you. And where I'm born at in Vidalia, Georgia, I got a handful of supporters in my home city. But it's funny how you can have gold records internationally everywhere else. Like last year, I made a statement on Facebook because every year somebody's calling me for a festival to come to their festivals in every city but my own. And I say that's funny how my own city, but Valdosta, Georgia. I say that Anthony Coleman was born in Vidalia, Mul-Ty was born in Valdosta because they
Okay.
was the first people to embrace me and show me that love like home's supposed to. So I'm always hold them different.
So it's funny you say that because I tell people all the time, South Carolina raised me, but DC made me. I learned the music business in Washington D.C.
Right.
The really the go-go bands taught me the music business.
Okay.
Northeast Groovers, Rare Essence, Backyard Junkyard Trouble Funk. They actually taught me the music business. They taught me the promotion game. My very first gig in the music business was doing club promotion and street promotion for DreamWorks Records. I had a partner who was promoting the What Noriega tour, and he said, "Man, hop in these streets with me." And he really taught me the club promotion and street promotion game, and it's been up from there. You know,
Yeah.
uh, and I didn't know him but 3 days. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And he said, "Man, get in these streets with me. Let me introduce some people, man. Let me show you how to network this thing, man. So people gonna always want to be in your good graces and put
Right.
some money in your pocket." And it was from there. So I can understand you saying that. Now, as far as you man, you say you got a song that everybody love, and it's a wedding song. What make people love that wedding song so much?
Man, let me tell you what I found out. If you would have asked me to pick a song off that record that would have blew up, that would not have been the one I picked. Reason why I never saw that coming. Like I said, from the mind of a producer, there were so many songs that I had so many great musicians play with me, or so many now not renowned producers played on, and then here come this simple song with just one guitar and a drum, and I didn't even write it. I freestyled it from the top of my, with the bottom of my heart. I'll say right there on the spot. That's why they ain't got no chorus, no hook. It was just me singing what I was feeling in that moment, and I would have never thought that that would be this record that changed my life.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
And so as far as you sing, cause you wrote in so many records, man. And what record made you hit the charts? You know, whether it was the indie music charts or the
That
top 100, the top 200.
man, that record just made from Billboard magazine last year, the top 100 on Billboard last year, went gold last. That simple song that I'm talking about, and what I've learned is from that, it taught me something that I was doing a songwriting seminar at a youth home once, and I told them when they was like, "What's the secret to your songwriting?" And I said, "It's no secret. It's not rocket science. It just has to feel good. That's it. It just has to feel good. And sometimes less is best." And so it made me unlearn everything I thought I knew about creating songs when that song did what it did.
Okay, okay. And upon that song doing what it did, that song had been out for a little while, right?
Yes, indeed.
How long had the song already been out?
Okay, I released the song in, I want to say, 2001 myself.
Okay.
I put it in the record stores with a barcode on it. We sold 200,000 copies. And one thing I learned about the record companies is I be telling people you don't got to chase no record company if you want a record deal. All you got to do is sell records. Them people ain't gonna let you make but so much money by yourself. Believe it. So we started this bidding war of record companies, and I chose to go with Universal, and I went with them, and they re-put the song out in 2002, and so it was officially released in 2002, but I put it out in 2001 and sold 200,000 copies myself.
Okay, okay. All right now. Yeah. I'm gonna scratch my head a little bit. So
With no
independently,
internet.
independently with no internet,
Yeah.
you sold 200,000 copies. So you went in them streets like UGK. You know what I mean? We gonna call it what it is. You know what I'm
Hey
saying?
man, listen, man. I done heard a lot of rappers say that they don't sold numbers like that, like when I sold 200,000. But the difference is because Too Short say he sold 1 million out of Trump. But here go the thing. I got a sound scan report to prove this, what I'm saying. Like, we can say anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
But I
got a
just
certified sound scan report that say I sold 200,000. That ain't counting the one we did out of Trunk at the show. Them the ones I had in the record stores with the
right,
barcode on them. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Right. I
Yeah.
just know when I was down in Texas back in the day, man, them boys used to have the barcode them CDs with the scan gun and with like when I first learned about UGK, right, and Lil Kiki and all them, man, like the DJs used to tell me down in Texas, man, they was like, them boys don't care nothing about no radio play, man. Because they be all over this state because the state's so big and it's easy for them to say a 200, 300, 400,000 out the trunk, man. You know, cause you think if you selling 200,000 out the trunk and people buy them at $15 a pop, you making bank.
Listen, man. When I got into negotiating with a record company, it was easy for me because I didn't need them. You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
Like if they when they catch the artist that's in a situation of neediness, they take advantage of that.
right,
With
right,
me, I could stand on business because they was like, we want to give you. They gave me a publishing deal that was bigger than my record deal for writing for other artists on Universal. But my whole thing was when I gave my number that I would need to sign with them, they was like, "Oh, that's unheard of." We said okay, and went back to selling records till they called back because I wasn't in a position of neediness. And so that's what I be telling. Like right now, we live in a day and age where a record company for what? Like once I realized that before I met these people, I sold 200,000 records, and if I sold a CD for $5, I made $5. But when I got with them, they put in my record in the store now doubt for $20 and want to give me. I got to fight you for $1.50 when I wrote this whole record, produced this record. What I'm saying now, I'm in this, and I realized really what was going on. Like, and with the internet now, it was a time I feel like we needed a label. But now you got the power to be in every household in America via internet. A record
Well,
company for what? You know?
well, I'm gonna say this. You are a creative artist. You are artists that know strategy, marketing, and branding. Every artist don't know that. Every artist don't want to take the time to study that. So you have did that, and so you don't need them. But some artists still need that engine behind them because they don't understand how an engine should move. Make
Well, I
sense?
agree. If I didn't know the fact that what they're really looking for, all they're gonna find is themselves in a lot of debt and they're self in a situation where they're working for someone else with their creativity.
Right,
And
right.
and, 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 and I think you're right. A lot of artists do need to apply themselves to the let me learn this business. Let me understand the point structure on albums. Let me understand the industry standard numbers to everything that happens. And so that's the main thing that it took me. I had to learn that the hard way myself. I went through some bruises in the game early that I had to go and educate myself to say, let me make sure that never happens again.
Cause I tell indie artists all the time, man. I say it ain't really hard for you as an indie artist to make $200,000-300,000 a year just off licensing your music. That ain't
Right.
hard, man. But for the life of me, I don't know why independent artists don't license their music. And a lot of times when I talk to them about it, fam, they act like I'm speaking in a foreign language. Cause I know they haven't studied the business. Like this is not a hobby. I tell people all the time, it's so much corporate structure within the entertainment business. Most of the entertainment business is 90% corporate structure and only 10% music. If your if your business is intact, then you gonna eat forever, forever. You know what I mean?
Bro, I have learned like lately, I've been putting my song, like getting movie placements and stuff. And I have found that like I'm working on my second movie now, but and I'm actually about to start doing movie scores, producing movie scores. But the first time I got my song in the film and saw the publishing that come back from that, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Why haven't I been licensing to these films? Why haven't I been? And it's so much. Like I tell people, honestly, when I was out there in the street hustling, I went hard. So I came into this business with the same hustle. I've been doing music honestly, not professionally since 2000. I ain't had no side job. I ain't had no like I've been doing music, what I'm saying, successfully for 20 something years. And so with that being said, I'm trying to show people every day that this is this is possible if you apply yourself. You wake up every day and you work for yourself with the same energy that you go work 8 hours for somebody else. You have no choice but to win.
That's right. That's right. You absolutely right, man. And so, man, you know, Universal, they want you as an artist, as a producer, as a songwriter, and all the above, man. And so, what would you say about the new wave of the industry right now
Mhm.
versus the industry as me and you know it? You know what I mean? When
Uh-huh.
I just feel like the sense of urgency for people to get music back in the day was crazy because I can remember going to music stores at 8 o'clock in the morning and the line is wrapped around the door like somebody want to buy some Jordans.
Mhm.
I can remember those days, but I can see now streaming services is like, why should I be able to listen to a song from you for free when I think that there should be a 30 to 40 second clip? So the rest of the 2 minutes and 20 seconds of the song, I need to be intrigued to buy this record. You know what I mean? And I feel like, they really, throwing the artist's craft kind of under the bus because they're not giving the fans the sense of urgency to buy this record, to buy this EP, to buy this album. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, well, let me do the disclaimer. I have nothing negative to say about Universal Records, but it wasn't for me. Being in the major, it wasn't for me because I think that's for people who really desire to look like money instead of having it. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't for me. Now with this new industry today, the way it goes, I feel like most artists annually, 87% of their revenue, the average artist now comes from streams. And that's not a lot. Do you realize that an artist don't even make a penny for one stream? So it's a situation now where if you don't understand, like you just said, how to work your licensing, how to and go, man, I'm old school, man. Listen, when we first started, man, if money got funny, I went and did a bunch of shows. And so what I'm saying, it's the hustle still. We got to, I think now, because we got it's instant celebrity thing where now somebody could post a song or a gimmick or whatever it is, and it goes viral, and that happens, and then you say, damn, what happened to that viral person? Because this wasn't somebody with the hustle to maintain. It was somebody who just messed around and done something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
And I personally think it should be like, if we're gonna do the streaming services, we should have, mainstream Spotify, mainstream iTunes, underground Spotify, underground iTunes.
I
You
agree.
know, when you get to that certain plateau, and where you done put that work in, of course you deserve the shine. But it shouldn't be instant gratification. Because I can tell you now, I know a lot of independent artists that sound way better what's in on the radio, but I tell them all the time, a person that has great marketing, that has a great grind, you know, hard work gonna beat talent any day, man. Any day.
Yeah.
Whether you're on that football field, basketball court, or you're in the entertainment business, hard work gonna beat talent any day. And so with that being said, it has to be an understanding on why you look at a person like a 50, and he tell you that it took him really 15 years to break ground to get into this
Mm-hmm.
music industry like he wanted to. It's a reason for that. It's
Mm-hmm.
a reason for that because they don't let in and everybody in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a reason why, James Brown owned his own masters, and Sam Cooke and Otis Redding and people like that, because they stayed in their lane. They know the chitlin circuit was going to bring them money. They know that was straight revenue. They didn't need no label to do it. And so, you know, I tell people, do what has worked for black and brown people for years. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like don't let somebody challenge your thought process and make you switch things up, because that's really not what it's about. And so you said you've been doing this thing for 20 years and this is what you do full time. That's pure brilliance. Pure brilliance, man.
But
So you
all God, man.
so you got some secret sauce that go on some ribs. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, man, I'm gonna give artists some free game, right? Dealing with social media, right? I realized that because I saw a dramatic increase in album sales from social media when I done one thing. Like, you ever seen where you have a bunch of friend requests that's pending that you can accept or not accept?
Hmm.
Okay, a lot of you artists, I want y'all to really feel me. You are entertaining fans every day on your social media. You can't do that. You got to know the difference between fans and supporters.
Right.
You got a bunch of supporters pending because your page is full of fans. Fans will spectate and supporters will participate.
Hmm.
I thank God that I have more supporters than fans. And so, and that's what the secret sauce is, man. Like, man, we don't have time. We entertain fans on stage, you know. But once again, you don't even do that. The supporters are the one that buy the ticket, that's gonna buy the stream the music, that's gonna share your stuff. That those are supporters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you need, you know. So let go, you know, the fans and gain supporters, and you'll and definitely fly a different altitude.
Right. And so we're gonna get into COVID-19, and we're gonna get into what made us feel good after COVID. And I'm gonna say one genre of music made us feel good after COVID. Southern soul made people feel good about themselves again. Southern soul made you want to cut a rug, or as the old folks say, cut a step. Southern soul made the man that sell the look in the back made his sales go up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, what is your level of expectations in the future for Southern soul? And how do you feel about Southern soul? And why has Southern soul kind of got into a lane of its own where the record labels are begging for artists to sign with them, but a lot of Southern soul artists don't want to deal with the majors?
Um, man, I'm known for being brutally honest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's all I know how to be. I'm getting in a relationship with Southern Soul where I can love it but not respect it. And
Okay.
the reason why I say that, Southern Soul has to have a standard. Like, I came from a generation where singers had to actually know how to sing.
Right.
And what I'm seeing right now in Southern Soul is anybody doing it. Like, you can just jump on the auto tune and start singing about a horse or a trail ride and get you a big record. Like, I miss artists that really had to be talented to do music. I miss and I'm being sincere, because I used to respect Southern Soul differently. I love it. It feel good at the party when it come on, but as a creator of music, Southern Soul has to set a standard at some point of, because anybody can jump on right now and get on the auto tune and make a trail ride song and take off. And that's, to me, that ain't what Southern Soul I knew. Southern Soul was arrived from the blues.
Right.
You know, from great singers, the Johnny Taylors. It came from the, you know, salute to that boy, King George right now. I'm glad to hear somebody like him with a, you know what I'm saying, that can do it, doing it. And it's a few more, but not a whole lot that I can name. You know, and I'm just being honest. You know, now I don't know. I got a lot of respect for. I used to be on Chitlin Circuit. People helped me along the way, like with Mr. Willie Clayton. Salute to him, his singing. You know what I'm saying? That man.
Willie, he does a good
Come
thing.
on now. You know, so I'm always respect the greats.
I can
But
understand what you're saying because of how we grew up. How we grew up with the Roy C's and the Tyrone Davises
come on, Doc. Come on, Doc.
and people like that. People that really can sing. When you see they had the white handkerchiefs and the sweat running down their forehead, man, and you
Come
had
on,
Bo
Doc.
Diddley
Come
over
on,
here,
man.
you had BB King over here, and you got Bobby Womack right here, and
Man, speak on it.
then you got Millie Jackson coming out the back. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm not gonna say all Southern Soul, but some of it is a little gimmicky. You know what I mean?
Some. I ain't saying all. Some.
Yeah. So I remember Sir Charles 20 years ago, and yes, melodic Betty Wright. You know, like, she is a name that really don't need to be talked about because she is the queen of the soul in the blues music. You know, because everybody got an uncle named Mr. Charlie, and we sure can't blame him. Cause he's just a man. You know
Just
what I
a
mean?
man.
Just a man. So
I can't see the comments, but if Melodic can hear, that's the artist I was telling you a while ago that we done the Give Me Love record. And the thing I love about her most is her work ethic. Like, she definitely is, growth is her thing. I want to be better all the time, not being satisfied by, oh, I got a song, people interviewing me, I'm there. No, she still has that hunger to say, let's get back into these vocal training. Let's do this. And so that's what I respect most about her work
Right,
ethic.
right,
And it showed, man.
right,
Yeah, man, she showed her diversity on the Give Me Love record because she does have Southern soul roots. But for her to
okay,
be able to confidently step into another lane and deliver this song that Southern Soul Radio is still accepts and embraces, it's just, shouts out to her great vocals.
right, right. I know who Miss Melodic is, man. Yeah, she been bouncing around to on these, the radio stations and stuff. And shout out to my man Lane for popping in from Everything Entertainment, the CEO and founder of Everything Entertainment, man. Appreciate
Mm-hmm.
the support. And yeah, man. So I just think with the whole Southern Soul market, man, it really opened up like my most proudest moment of Southern Soul is a lot of people lost so many people to COVID, man. Family members, best friends, brothers and sisters, and cause I lost an uncle to COVID. I lost a first cousin. Me and him raised like brothers, man. But man, that Southern Soul brought some people out the house, man, and it was just so much love and admiration for one another because we had been trapped in the house for 2 years. People you grew up with wasn't here no more, man. And I just feel like the world need that happy place where we got feel good music, man. Music that
Mm-hmm.
make you feel good, that make you happy, man. That really gives some gives give you some peace, man, and just a great soulful vibe, man. That's the most that's one of the greatest things I think about Southern Soul. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Shout
And
out to
you
all the real Southern Soul artists that's putting in that work and bringing us that fight.
yeah,
Yeah. Shout out to them.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So and I think, man, that I remember growing up, man, we really seen a whole lot of musicians. Like I can tell you, man, like it seemed like when I was growing up, man, everybody played the piano, guitar, drums, everything, man. And so I was telling this young man, I said, man, you bad, man, but if you learn how to play that guitar and the acoustic, boy, you're gonna be super bad. Super bad, man. Because it's just we can say what we want to say, man. It's one thing, but somebody who sit behind them keys and can play them keys and make them keys talk while they sing and they sing great and they play the keys great, or if that dude in the back with the toothpick in his mouth just smiling and playing that bass guitar, you'd be like, oh my God, listen to that bass guitar, man. So it's just something about them musicians like yourself, man. You play instruments, so that whole vibe when it comes to songwriting and when it comes to those melodies in your head and when it comes to you might be sleeping at 1 o'clock in the morning, man, and you wake up and you got a song in your head, you can't go back to sleep, man, and you just like I know what it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause
Yeah.
I used to write once upon a time too, so I
Okay.
know exactly what it's like, you know
Right.
what I mean? When it's on your mind, you got to write it down, you know what I mean?
Man, you mentioned the pandemic a while ago, right? And it's funny, the pandemic for me is like a blur because during the pandemic, man, I was in a place of I wasn't even doing music. I was in a deep depression because I had just buried my son in 2017.
Sorry to hear that, man.
And I was unable to pull music from me. And it was this, but it was music, God using music to pull me from that place that I was in. So music literally saved my life, man. At a time where I didn't want to live no more. Music literally saved me, man.
It's healing, man. It's healing power with music, man.
Yeah.
It's healing power with music, and I tell people all the time, man. People be like, man, when people lose somebody, they need a therapist or go. I tell people all the time, man. When my pops passed in 2015, gospel music was my healing.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm trying to tell you, shout out to Lee Williams and the Canton Spirituals
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and Willie Banks and the Messages and cats like that, man. Like that gospel music was my therapy. Like
Mm.
music is so therapeutic, man. You can be going through a bad day, man, and having it rough, man. It's certain songs that you can put if you got one of them playlists that can definitely get you through. Man, listen, music is therapeutic.
Doc, and my testimony, man, I was at a hotel up in Mactown, Georgia, down in Macon, and I had just got out of this facility in Warner Robins, Georgia, man, because I tried to do something crazy. I tell you, I'm not ashamed of what I've been through, and Doc, I was at a dark place. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to exist no more. I felt like it was too much for me to handle, and so while I'm in the room one night, somebody close to me called my phone. I didn't answer, so they text me. The next time he called, I answered the phone, and he said, "Look, man, I need you to do me one favor." And I said, "What's that?" And he said, "Go on YouTube." And I said, "Man, I don't want to hear no music." He said, "You ain't got to listen." He said, "Turn the volume down." He said, "I want you to go under your videos and just read some comments." And that's something I never do. And I went on YouTube and I began to read comments. And there were comments saying, like this one lady said, "Oh my God, this song, we fell in love and got married to this song." There's another song, somebody said, "This song restored our relationship." Somebody else, and it was all of this stuff. And them tears began to flow down my eyes. And God told me at that moment, He spoke to me. And God said, "Your purpose is bigger than your pain." And I'll never forget that night being able, I get chills now thinking about that night that God spoke those words to me. Your purpose is bigger than your pain.
That's
And
facts, man.
I can't do nothing now but run on that. And whatever's purpose for my life, it shall be. Cause whatever God got purpose for anybody watching it, whatever purpose for your life will be. Can't no hater stop it. Can't the devil can't block it. It shall be. So yeah, take that with you. If you don't take nothing else from this, take that
That's
with
right. And on that note, I got another thing I can add. When people be going through, I tell them, remember this. I said, remember this always. It's lessons in your blessings. Believe that.
you. Yes, sir. Every time. Every time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, fam, man, it's been wonderful, man. I really appreciate you coming on the platform and let letting us know about you, man, and letting us know your journey and come from the music to the personal and on how God brought you through, man. I'm definitely grateful that you shared your story, man. So
Bless. Bless.
so before we cut out, man, tell people where they can find your music at and how they can get at you and then give out some shout outs if need be.
Hey man, Mul-Ty, MUL hyphen, like the minus sign, MUL hyphen TY. You can find me on all streaming platforms. I've been releasing some music lately. Go check it out and continue to support those records. And yeah, I'm all over social media, all streaming sites, whatever. Mul-Ty, MUL hyphen TY. And shout out to my team, man. Shout out to my manager, Big CJ. Shout out to Melody Prince is still in here. Shout out to her. Yeah, Shayla. Who else? Yolanda. Yeah, shout out to Yolanda, man. She's an angel on my shoulder. Actually introduced me to you. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Look,
definitely. Shout
I'm
out to
gonna say it's
Bridge the
about
Gap.
Yolanda, man. I'm gonna say it's about Yolanda, man. I pick up the phone. She said, "What's happening, King Jacob?" I said, "Send me one of your peoples over." She said, "I got you." She don't change word. She don't nothing. She's like, "You got it?" I said, "I do." She's like, "All right, have a good one," and that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's it. So man, I just want to say, man, be on the lookout for everything entertainment. There'll be gracing the platform really, really soon, man. We got so much work to do, man, and we just getting started, man. And I just want to say, fam, I really appreciate you, man. And listen, man, my show. I don't know if you serviced that record yet, I don't know if you serviced that record yet, but I can tell you this right here, man. That record needs to be serviced.
Okay, say less.
You
I
know what I
appreciate
mean?
that.
Yes, sir. And so I was wondering where you been. The 229 still plays your music. I'm glad you're doing music again. That's what Deanna Freeman. I am Deanna Freeman. Word on the streets. That's what she said, and she's the operational manager for Fleet DJs Georgia. So she tapping in with us tonight.
Love, love, love. Hey, listen, all artists out there, if you need a song, go see somebody else. If you need a hit, come see me.
You heard what he said. You heard what he said. He said he open and he ready to work. So man, we're gonna get out of here. I want y'all to do this for the rest of the week, man. I want you to understand, no matter what nobody say, just know you blessed by the best. Peace, love, and we out of here.